Welcome in, welcome in. This is Baxter Street Boys. I'm your host, Cole Wilcox, joined as always by co-host Griff and Rudy today. Co-host Jake is not here again. He swears he has not quit the show. That is his words, not mine. So we'll see. We'll see. I need to hold him to it. Nah, he's good. He was in court all day today. He's doing lawyer things. But we have another jam-packed show. Last week we jam-packed. Y'all seemed to love it. The feedback was great. We're gonna get through them again. The point, a lot happened. The Dogs, they are obviously 9-0. Every time we come on this show, we come with another win. Since we started the show, the Dogs have not lost. Fun fact. Let's keep that going. And listen, if it's us that's doing it, we'll do it till we die. Dogs basketball play, we'll talk a little bit about that. Then obviously we have to preview the big one this Saturday. A night game in Stanford, another top 10 matchup. I'm expecting big things. So, without further ado, let's roll.
This is the Dogs! It's the Stanford, baby!
Wow, he's running over people. Just stepped on their face with a hobnail boot.
The freshman just ran it back to Philadelphia. No! Goal! Your sideline, and it's intercepted. Intercepted, Keely Ringo. Touchdown, Georgia.
I know I'm asking a lot, you guys, but hunker it down one more time.
All right. Griff, how we doing?
Doing good. Ready for a big SEC matchup in Sanford, baby. Come on.
Yep. Before we get into all that, let's talk a little bit about Missouri. Talk about that game for a minute. They played really well. Obviously, it was a very close game, tight game. I want to give a hats off to Missouri, though. I was surprised with how physical they were, and not necessarily like that. I didn't know they were physical. You just watch them play against LSU. You watch them play against Kansas State. They kind of got scored on a lot, and you wondered, how their defense would fare. But that defense has definitely improved over the course of a season. They have some good athletes over there. And I think the surprising part was how physical they were against us. Because a lot of teams that play against Georgia, Georgia has a tendency to make them not look quite as physical, just because that's kind of Georgia's MO. And Missouri kind of hit us back. So hats off to them. I think that's a program going in the right direction for sure. They get big recruits. They have St. Louis there. Drinkwich is a good coach for sure. He's goofy and he does a lot of goofy things, but he is a good coach. And before we really dive into it, I hats off to them because I thought they played really well.
Yeah, I thought they did too. I mean, the back, Cody Schrader, he really looked impressive. I mean, he was just running downhill hard the whole game. He was tough to tackle. So they were a lot more physical than I think we expected, and definitely going into it, I did not expect them to play us in that way. And I think that is what made it a closer game than it would have been if they would have played us the way that we thought were going to play us. So,
yeah, I thought that Schrader definitely exposed some things on us that we have to correct. Because Ole Miss is going to try to do the same thing. Tennessee is too. Those are both run-heavy teams. So we definitely have to fix some stuff on there. Brady Cook is really good. Luther Burden's really good. Like I said, I didn't come away from that thinking Georgia played that bad at all. Actually, I didn't think we played bad at all. I
didn't really either.
Yeah,
it was just another good team across from us. Like
yeah.
Like, and
I mean, we won by 2 scores. We had the ball at the end. It's like, we have been grown to just dominate some teams, and there's going to be games that we do that. But there's some games where the other team just plays really well, and if it's a good team, they're going to hang around. And so I'm glad we got to play the game. I'm glad it was physical. I'm glad that Missouri did some good things because I think that just prepares us as we move forward for some pretty tough ones coming up. And I definitely think Missouri wins this weekend. I'll go ahead and put that out there. I don't understand why everybody just assumes Tennessee's just going to win this game. I think Missouri's a better team. So
I'm really confused on it. And the line, the spread for the game is really throwing me for a loop. I can't really wrap my head around it that much, and so I'm pretty confused on that. I don't know why. I think that Missouri should be favored by like 2.5 points at least.
Yeah. It's like Groundhog Day. Carson Beck, another good game. He's just really good. Like there's not really much more to say about him. He's really good. Defensively, I think that's where we spend most of our time because the offense is good, man. Lad's good. Offensive line struggled a little bit at the beginning. They fixed it up.
Mhm.
Offensive line is not really a position that I'm too concerned about anymore. Like they've proved that they're good.
Yeah.
Dejon Edwards is a beast, man. Like he's just at this point, he's just so underrated. Like we just didn't give him enough credit coming into the season. Like simply put, when we were asking,
not
running
even
backs,
close.
we need running backs to step up. This, that, and another. He's a dude. Like he's. There's been no let off from year to year with Dejon Edwards. And yeah, I got Oscar Delp is a good player. Like we're offensively we're so good, it's not even worth talking about. Defensively, like I thought the secondary played really well. It was the coming out party for Julian Humphrey. Like that dude looked the part. He played out of his mind. He's long, he's athletic. I believe he looks like Tyson Campbell. He's very confident. He's arrogant, which you got to have that arrogance as a DB, in my opinion. Like that's what makes the good ones good. And yeah, I think that we're going to see a lot more of him going forward because he could be a really, really good piece for us.
Yeah, I think so for sure. And Kamari Lassiter is just a stud, man. We talked about on the last show, like if they actually gave him the chance to cover Luther Bowden for most of the game, like what would happen. And dude, they actually did, and dude, he locked him up.
Well, the most impressive part is, and most football minds saw it. It's kind of tough to see with some of the camera angles they give us in game, but I've as I grow older, I kind of watch for stuff like this because I'm just more intrigued with how Kirby approaches stuff. And the defensive staff. Kamari lined up in the slot a lot, and that might not sound like much to a lot of people, but going from a field corner or a boundary corner to a slot corner is very difficult. It's pretty much a completely different position. And they moved in there pretty much the whole game because Missouri likes to line up their athletes in the slot a lot, which a lot of teams do. And so they had Everett and Humphrey on the field, and they had Kamari in the slot, and he played out of his mind. Like that's what I tweeted out. Like if he can do that, if he puts that on tape, you know what he can do one-on-one. Like I don't know how he's not a first-round corner at this point. I think what a lot of people are talking about, and rightfully so, and we've kind of been talking about it all year. The edge of the defensive line is a little bit concerning. We've seen teams just continually attack that. I mean, South Carolina did it, Auburn did it to an extent, and then Missouri hurt us with it bad. Like something's I don't like. I don't know who it is, and I don't know. There's a rotation of guys, and I think Kirby's really trying to find a guy that'll do it. But for so long, we've been used to guys setting the edge with such attitude and like just not allowing people to run out there. And so when you see people continue to run off the edge of our defense, like it's like what's the deal?
Yeah, it's definitely been difficult, and I don't want to put it on just one guy, but I mean, I definitely think we saw a lot more of Chaz Chambliss in this game than we did against Florida. And in Florida, I don't think we struggled in that area at all, really. I think the run game was just kind of dead to water everywhere they were going with it against Florida. And they've got some good backs too. I think Cody Schrader probably is one of the better backs we've seen this year. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Chaz, but he's made some plays this year. He's played well at times. So,
yeah, I mean, one thing about Florida, they like to run twin tackles a lot, so it could have been a different game plan. But
for sure,
we just gotta be able to do that because teams are going to try to expose that, and I actually prefer that. Nobody's ran between the tackles on us all year. We just can't let people get in space that often and get off the edge because teams are going to continue to do that until we prove to stop it. And we've been so good at it for years. It just feels kind of weird. But hopefully, if I trust anybody, it's Kirby and the defensive staff to figure that out, figure out who's going to do it. And it's really just a mindset. Like, yeah, it's hard. Like the act of setting the edge isn't hard. The discipline to do it consistently is hard. So it's just going to take Nolan Smith was just the best. He was the best at it.
It takes Nolan Smith, he made it look so easy and he did it so consistently. And people were like, why is it so hard to run the ball on Georgia? Well, a guy who no one ever talked about in that conversation for that is Nolan Smith. And he was really the reason why most of the time. Like him and Jordan Davis, obviously. But
yeah, he's got to turn that run back into the big meaty boys. We got them.
Yeah.
We
got some ballers in there.
Feed those guys the run, and oh my gosh, Virginia pick 6 is tied up.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was pretty sick play too. But yeah, I'm not really concerned about our defense at all.
We got way too much talent out there.
Way too much talent, and we have the best coaching staff in the country. So, it's just one of those things, man. Like Missouri might have had a good game plan. They isolated something. Maybe they exposed something a little bit, and we get it cleaned up, we get it fixed, and we move on. So, honestly, thank you, Missouri. That's about all I had from this game. You got anything else?
No, I mean, that's pretty much it. Offense looked great. We stalled out a couple of times, but I think Missouri was playing pretty well defensively for the most part in general compared to we still scored a decent amount. We just didn't put it in the end zone a couple of times when we could have. But yeah, I mean, wide receivers still look good. Lad's awesome. The man. He's the man.
Good. He's so good. We're gonna look back and he's gonna be one of the best receivers we ever had at this point. Like he's that good.
It's freaking awesome, dude. And what a story! Like it just a great story. I hope he gets to beat Tennessee every year he plays them, and then walk away with that because he wanted to go there, and they wouldn't let him. They wouldn't give him 2% of the scholarship.
Bums. Yeah. I hate to see that. Dom got a touchdown against his old team. That's just one of those things. Like, I don't think there was any bad blood between him and Missouri.
No, I don't think there was either.
It's just pretty much a non-story to me there. I would be pissed off if A.D. Mitchell or Jermaine Burton caught a touchdown against us though a little bit.
I would.
Yeah. So maybe I'd probably piss off Missouri fans. I'm very glad we don't have to deal with Missouri fans anymore. I don't think we had a show since we really got involved with them. They're the biggest dorks in the SEC. I didn't realize that until this week. They refused to talk about football on Twitter. All they want to talk about was grammar and stuff. Like it was corny. It was goofy. They laughed at the dumbest things. It was first grade banter. They're nerdy. That team deserves a better fan base than them.
The whole Brett Sarver, what is that? I still don't know what that is.
I refuse to engage in that just because I thought it was stupid. So.
It's absolutely stupid. I'm still curious as to what it is. I still don't understand it.
Screw it. So yeah, that's all I have. Missouri, I thought it was a good win, good home win. Missouri, I think they could finish 10-2. So hats off. Yeah. Moving on, Georgia played Oregon in Las Vegas on Monday night. Oregon kind of smacked them around a little bit, just called spade a spade. It's a brand new team. There's literally all new faces. It's no real surprise that the two guys that probably played the best were Jabri Abdur-Rahim and Justice Hill, because they have been there. They understand what Mike White wants. They understand the system. It's going to take some time. So I didn't take much away from it, other than the fact that we have talent. We have some guys who can put the ball in the hole, which is big. We really played with them. We went on a nice run right before the half. The biggest thing for me was we just stalled out a little bit, and then Oregon go on a run. We can't have those 5-minute periods where we don't put the ball in the hole. That's going to be the biggest thing.
Yeah, we played really, really well at times. And when we would get back into the game, it would be all right, here we go. And then we would just stall out again, and it would get back to, kind of where it was. But we fought for the whole game, and I walked away from it, not really upset or anything. So we got Wake Forest coming to town on Friday, and I think that will be a really good time to get a win and start gelling.
That'd be a huge win.
But Wake Forest got some good players. They were a solid team last year. That Cameron Hildreth kid is really, really good that they have.
Is it Oregon or Wake?
Wake.
Yeah, Oregon was really good too. Oregon was very
good. They were really good. They had some really, really good players.
Now Oregon is actually really good. They're going to be a force in the Pac-12 this year. Last year they didn't make the tournament. They had a lot of injuries. Well, those guys returned from injury this year, obviously, and they're solid. They're long, they're big, they can shoot. And that coach, I think they said that stat during the game that he's like in the top 10 in like current head coaches in wins. So he can coach. He's been around. They got a good squad. Credit to both coaches though for scheduling that game at the beginning of the year when you could be playing some scrubs and getting a win.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Give the people what they want. Big matchup. I think it's going to be good for our team in the end. And the biggest thing I take from this game is Silas Damari is a stud. He's a freshman.
I like him a lot. I like him a lot.
Freshman running the point. Showed a lot of poise. Showed a lot of patience, which is hard for a freshman coming in, especially running the point guard position. He's strong. He's athletic. He can defend. I love this kid. I love this kid a lot. We get him going. We get a couple of the other freshmen that played going. Blue Kane looked good. He can shoot. We get some of those guys rolling in, and we build as the transfers build with each other and play some more. At worst, if we can become a bubble team this year, kind of ride that out through the rest of the year, then we have some freshmen that turn to sophomores and get a little bit older and become really good, and then we bring in what is currently the top 10 recruiting class in the country and compare with them. Now we're rolling. That's how you build a program. It's just step by step. I know everybody wants that follows Georgia basketball wants us to automatically be an Elite 8 team this year. It's not going to happen. It's just not how program building works. Step at a time, baby. Trust the process, patience. I trust Mike White. I think he's really good at what he does.
Yeah, I like Mike White a lot too. I don't know. I'm just really excited to see in like a couple years what this Georgia team looks like and how competitive they are. I mean, we're getting talent that we haven't gotten for a long, long time or ever really. So it's gonna be really cool. I'm excited about what's to come for Mike White and this team, and even this year, I think that we can surprise a lot of folks once we get settled into who we are and start gelling and meshing together. And I'm excited about this season still. One loss doesn't do it for me against a good team. So I'm still ready to watch the Hoop Dawgs all year long.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so this weekend, big top 10 matchup as Ole Miss comes into town. It feels kind of weird to me. I don't know how many people feel like this. I don't know if it's been talked about much, but it feels weird to me that it's a top 10 matchup. It feels like it should be a big game, but it's Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I don't care if Ole Miss was ranked number 1 in the country. I would never consider them a real contender.
Well, I can't take Lane Kiffin seriously, dude. He's just not for real. He's just a fraud. He is. And I said last week that I thought Ole Miss was better than Missouri, and I would like to retract that statement. I think Missouri is better than Ole Miss now. But I mean, they have playmakers. It's not like they don't have good guys and guys that can make plays. It's not like they're not a decent football team. But I don't know. I feel the same way. It's like a weird matchup.
It really don't have anything to do with Lane for me. It's more of just, I don't know, just the brand of Ole Miss.
They had never had a 10-win season until that 10-win season with Lane Kiffin, which is absurd.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense, but I'm still very excited. Don't get it wrong. I'm still very excited for the game, but it's not like it's like Bama coming to town or Tennessee coming to town, but it's equally as big because they are a good team, whether I want to believe it or not. I'm sure Kirby Smart feels differently than me. I'm sure he's fully aware that they're a good team and they're a threat to us for sure. They do a lot of things that put teams in binds. Ole Miss, with Lane Kiffin, they are dangerous because he is a very good offensive play caller. Obviously, everybody knows that. I'm not reinventing the wheel there. But, there's a lot of talk about Lane Kiffin in big games, this, that, and another. Obviously, the record's not great. But it doesn't really matter. You throw all that stuff out the door when the game starts on Saturday.
Yeah, I definitely think that this is a game that you want to get out in front of Ole Miss with. I don't want to keep them in this game for too long because they can play close games. They've got like the explosiveness, and Lane Kiffin is a good enough coach to, offensively especially, to keep him in the game offensively with, his play calling and stuff like that and the playmakers that they do have. So I definitely do want to jump on them early because I think if we do that, then we can get them out of the game pretty quickly and they just start doing stupid stuff. But I think this is definitely. We talked about setting the edge earlier and how important that is for our defense. Quinshawn Judkins. I don't know how to say his first name. He's really good. So I mean, if we don't do that and they choose to go that route, I mean, it could be tough. So we really need to figure it out in the run game before Saturday, I think.
Yeah, Ole Miss is a team that they're going to welcome a shootout. Like that's what they want. That they're comfortable playing in that environment. Like that's kind of Lane Kiffin's MO anyway. Like they're very comfortable in a shootout, and I'm sure Georgia's fine with that too, offensively. But Kirby doesn't want to be in a shootout. Like that's not him. That's not how we play. This is one of those games where I think we're going to see like a prototypical death march at the start of the fourth quarter because they might hang around early. As much as I'd like to come out and just wear them out, they might hang around early because they might hit some plays. They're explosive. But it's going to be one of those things where if we lean on them enough for three quarters, like this is like the type of ball Kirby Smart wants to play because they're not going to be able to hang with us for four quarters, especially defensively. Offensively, like we should be able to lean on them. We should be able to move them around, especially come fourth quarter time, because like that's Kirby Smart. Like he welcomes that. He welcomes the gritty games, and then in the fourth, we're just bigger, we're more physical, we're more conditioned, and we will just run down your throat. I could see a big time death march in this game.
I think I could too. I think we are definitely going to be more physical than them. And what was that tweet that Ole Miss fan tweeted us that how the position battles and like who's better?
That was just prom bait.
Prom bait, dude. But I don't know. Yeah, I think we're a significantly better team than them, and they only have one loss.
Yes, to Alabama.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I think we're better than Alabama, and we play that style of football that Alabama plays. So I think this game could go a lot of the way that game did. I just think we score the ball a lot better than Alabama does, and so I think we could get away with it early if we play the right way.
There is an element to like coming into the game, you think Ole Miss offense versus Georgia defense. If you go look at the numbers, our offense is better than theirs. Like that's a fact. This year has been better than Ole Miss. I know that Graham Coffey and the boys, I think at Dog Central, they pointed out this week that like the stats, like I saw a full breakdown of the stats. They always do it every week. I think Brooks and them did too. Just talking about how much different Ole Miss is at home and on the road. Mm-hmm. And that's to be expected. Like they run the tempo offense. They do some things where it probably really does help to have it to be quiet in there. A rowdy environment could throw it off a little bit. So hopefully Sanford's loud. I don't doubt for a second that it's going to be.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can impact the game a little bit because we need to keep that trend going. Like home field is an advantage. We have it this year in this game, so let's use it. Right? Let's get on them. Let's use everything we got, and let's get out there with a win, man. That's the most important thing at this point.
Yeah, that's all that matters. You win every game in the season by 1 point, and you win the national championship, and that's all there is to it. But
I hate that saying so much.
I know, I do too. But I mean,
clearly not. Just used it.
Yeah, no, it's true though. But at the same time, obviously, I don't want to win every game by 1 point. I want to slaughter some.
I mean, if you're beating UAB by 1 point, you're not winning the national championship. That's why I hate it. Like it's stupid.
Yeah, no, stupid. I mean it's not like plausible. But you know what I mean. Winning at the end of the day is what matters. But what would leave you satisfied after Saturday, Cole?
I would like a really good performance from the defense. Like that's what I'm seeking after. Like we talked about it in the the post game recap of the Missouri game. It's our offense to me is not a concern of mine. It's not a worry of mine. Like I don't doubt what we can do against the best defenses in the country. I think we can hang with absolutely anybody offensively.
Yeah.
And defensively, like in my heart, I believe that we can shut down pretty much any team. I want to see it though, and this is a great test to see it because Ole Miss, like it does have a good offense. They do have good players. Jackson Dark's a solid player, like you said. Junkins is one of the best running backs in the country. They got receivers. They have a decent O-line. So let's see it. Like this is probably the best offense we've seen. Missouri and them are neck and neck. So let's stand up. And I thought we played pretty well against Missouri. So let's let's stand up and do it again, and let's make it even more dominant. Let's squeeze the life out of them.
Yeah, I really want to show off in this game and then go into Tennessee and just slaughter them, beat our little brother Georgia Tech that shouldn't even we should get them off the schedule. But I want to finish the season strong, go into the playoff, and just be who we are. And let's win our third one. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way and let everyone know this is the greatest dynasty in the history of college football, the greatest 3 years ever.
Wow, you went from what will satisfy you in Ole Miss to just talking about the big picture there.
Yeah, the big picture, it's painting itself right now. Another part of the picture is painted this weekend.
Yeah, I hope so. Man. I'm looking forward to it. I hope everybody there is rowdy. I'll tell you what would really make me satisfied is seeing number 19 suit up. That'd be freaking awesome.
I don't think he's suiting up for this game.
I think he say otherwise, Griff.
I know, but I think we'll see him back at Tennessee instead of here. But oh boy,
I don't see that as a possibility. If he don't play this week, there's no shot he plays next week. If we clinch the
Why
East,
do you say that?
If we clinch the East, I don't see any reason to play him next week.
I don't know. I mean, going into a rowdy environment, against a decent team. I don't know how good Tennessee is, but I think it'd be nice to have him on the field.
Well, that's not what I said.
I know.
I didn't say it wouldn't be nice to not have him on the field.
No, I know.
I said I don't think we'll see him.
Yeah, you don't think we'll see him.
I don't know why you would play him in that game.
Because he's really good and he help you win.
But then if he just aggravates it again, why not just wait till Bama? And then,
well, I thought that was the whole point of this tightrope surgery is so that it doesn't get aggravated again as easily.
Well, anything can get aggravated again if you're not fully healthy.
I guess so. But if he's going to play in this game, I think I would rather him play in the Tennessee game than this game is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, because you hate Tennessee.
But no, I don't think we need him as much for this game as we would that game.
Yeah. Anyway, I would like to see him play. This should go in a roundabout circle. But let's get rowdy, get loud. I don't want to see any videos. Everybody sitting down again. That's bull crap. If you're that kind of fan, seriously, just watch from home. It's not a big deal. It's whatever, but just don't go in there, be stubborn and sit down.
Yeah, don't go to the game. Just watch it at home. If you're gonna be like that, that's so freaking lame.
Anyway, everybody have a good week. Let's go Dogs. We got that show pretty good. If you're looking for tickets, if you need some tickets, hit our comments. Anybody selling tickets, hit our comments. Let's get all Georgia fans stuffed in there. Keep Ole Miss fans out if they do exist, and let's get a big time win. Everybody, like and subscribe. If you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram, that would help. We appreciate you guys. This is why we do it. Let's go out there. Let's get a big win. Go Dogs.